Alright, so we're back here. Get some more windrowing done. Anyways, so we're gonna get that going. Anyways, yeah. Some more of this windrowed up, and then I think we're actually gonna start baling. I think we'll do that. Because chopping takes a little bit of time, so. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, this is the old 4430. Like I said, I gotta figure out how I can switch the stack and cleaner around or make it a 4630 or something. I don't know. But then I think I might actually see if I can put the steps from the 4440 onto here. If I can do it. So, but yeah. So once I get this field done and I get that field windrowed, I think I'll get the baler out and start doing some baling. So, but yeah. Yeah, hope the forecast ain't right. It's supposed to rain all this week, but like I said, I'm sure I got some shop work I need to get done. A couple of trucks need some things done on them, and a couple of trailers need things done on them. So we'll hopefully be able to get that done, if anything else. But my boss said we got a couple projects we can do when the ground is still wet. So. And hoping this weekend's nice because there's a car show this week, this Saturday. I think I might take Frank, my Fummins, over there. So if you guys have seen my Fummins videos, which is probably gonna be some more of those videos coming out with any luck. So be able to get a couple more of those videos coming out because I've got some more things I need to get done to that truck. So probably put a light bar on the front, and then since the backup lights don't don't work, I think I'm actually going to just go ahead and order a couple of those LED light pods for the truck and use those for backup lights. So most of the time I don't even really have to worry about it because I always park that truck in a place where I don't really need to back up much, or if at all. But taillights it's got LED taillights in it, so those taillights are usually bright enough that I don't need to worry about it. So, which I'm thinking about putting LED headlights in that truck too, which then I wouldn't really need to worry about the light bar anymore, but we'll see how things go, I guess. I've got a light bar on the front of my Super Duty. I've got a 7.3 powered Super Duty as well, so I've got a light bar on the front of that, and that works pretty well. Helps cut through a lot of fog and everything else, and helps me see deer and everything else like that. So, but so yeah, I'm thinking I might put one of those on the Fummins and see how that works. it's not really the end of the world. I got full coverage on both trucks, so if something happens, it gets fixed. So, or I go out and get something different. But I've had the 7.3 going on. That'll be 7 years this in June. And the Fummins this summer, that'll be 3 years ago that I've actually got that running and driving around. Because yeah, I got that running summer of 16. I got that running, and then got all the paint and body work done on it the spring of 17. So it's been 2 years since it's been painted. So I'm trying to think. I think yeah, it's been 2 years since I've got it painted and everything. So far the truck's been doing okay. I haven't had too many major issues, so thankful for that. Because sometimes coming swaps can be a pain in the ass, but for the most part, haven't had really any major issues. So, but like I said, hopefully Saturday's nice, so I can go to that car show, and I'll probably take Frank over to the car show and whatnot. I'm probably not gonna win any awards or anything for it, but hey, at least then I can show off what I did. So what I've got. So that's all I really worry about. And then that truck does turn a lot of heads. It it's not a show pony by any means, but at least the paint looks nice and everything else. And used to just be an old construction and farm truck before I got a hold of it. So save that truck from the junkyard. I sent a second gen Dodge in its place, which I'm perfectly okay with. That second gen that I bought for the donor truck was, it was a rusted out piece of crap. So I taken that truck home. The donor truck home. I sitting there, I was driving. I was like, damn, this is almost a shame to, use this for a donor truck and just, tear it all to shit. But I get going along and hit a freaking dead coon in the road, and death wobble so bad it about threw me in the passenger seat, and I was like, well, I was like, fuck. So I stopped and came to a stop and then took off, and I didn't have a problem after that. But I get back to take back to my buddy's shop where I was doing the work to it at that time, and got looking at the truck, and the one shock, both shocks were bad, but the one shock wasn't even held up by anything anymore. It was literally just sitting there flopping around inside the coil spring. So I was like, well, that's pretty fucking neat. So yeah, no, but Frank definitely gets some weird looks, being a OBS Ford with 12 valve in there. It's obviously not the only one around. There's plenty of other Fummins trucks on YouTube, and there's a few other OBS 12 valve powered trucks on YouTube, but it's really the only one in my area. There's a few other Cummins powered trucks around where I live. One I've seen quite a few times in Muscadet, just across the border into Grant County, because I live in Iowa County. Muscadet is literally just across the border into Grant County. So I've seen a 24 valve powered Super Duty white dually. I've seen that around a few times. And there's another Super Duty running around with a 12 valve, but they're really, to my knowledge, in Iowa County, there's, I don't really think there's any other OBS 12 valve powered trucks. So that's kind of a cool thing. So, and I've noticed people know that truck, a lot more people know that truck than me. I mean, I know enough people, but my girlfriend's always like, I can't go anywhere. You always run into somebody you know. But no, I've noticed a lot of people know that truck. So when I'm at a gas station or whatever, I'm like, oh yeah, I see that truck cruising around. And yeah, always wondered who owned that truck. Well, yeah, surprise, it's me, bitch. Um, but no, it seems like a lot of times, like if I'm stopping at the gas station for something to drink or whatever, going out to eat with the old lady or whatever, there'll be people that will stop and ask me about it or want to talk to me about it, which I have no problem. And then, you know, ask them if they want to see under the hood. And truck guys and car guys are definitely like, they give you like this look like you just told them, hey, you want to see my old lady's titties? But yeah, it's just I like talking about my truck, so that's kind of just a cool thing when people ask you about it and why you built it and everything else. So it's just definitely glad I built that truck. Built it for a couple of my buddies that passed away, but I'm really glad I built that truck because God, I just love it so much, you know. And the 12 valve as it sits right now, I'm getting mid 20s with that thing. So, and I've got a 50-gallon tank in it, so I can literally, like a half tank's 25 gallons to drive back and forth to work with it because my work's about 15 minutes from where I live. So I can literally drive it for like 2 weeks. If I'm just driving it to work and back, I can literally just drive it for like 2 weeks without putting fuel in it again. And one of the things I need to get done to that is thinking I'd like to get the fuel gauge hooked up. I just need to figure out what wires control that and everything else, and I think I should be able to get that hooked up. But so yeah, I'm hoping to get some more videos of that up on YouTube for you guys. And it's one of those deals where when I was doing that project at that time, there really wasn't anybody that had videos kind of talking about how to do it and things like that. It's like some people build something like that, they're just like, no, I'm not giving away any of my secrets. Well, when somebody's trying to do this or trying to contemplate on, you know, how much of a pain in the ass it's going to be or whatever, it's just nice to have to be able to watch some videos on YouTube and actually see how it was done. So I personally in mine had the 12 valve and the NV4500, which Dodge and Chevy used for years. The transmission actually came out of a gas, so I switched over the bell housing and transmission input shaft over to the new transmission that I got. So my donor truck was a two-wheel drive, so sold that for $750. And then one of my good friends had a four-wheel drive gas, and so I bought the transmission and transfer case from him for $800. So then I just switched over the bell housing from the old transmission and got a new input shaft for it. So yeah, so if you're ever considering doing that swap and you find, let's say you find a automatic donor truck for a really good price, or you find, say, a first gen with a really good price, or whatever, or a two-wheel drive like I did for a really good price, because I paid $2,000 for that donor truck, which I thought was pretty decent price on that. So, but yeah, if you do that and you find a 3/4 ton Dodge gas with the NV4500 in it. It's got to be the V8 gas at least. Preferably, if you can find one that's got heavy duty one in there. It's usually the build sheet is under the hood. So if it's got a DHT 241 like mine did, chances are it's a heavy duty truck. So that's kind of what you want to looking for. But yeah, then that's all you have to do. And you can find eBay. I found the input shaft kit that I just had to put together for like $80 on eBay. So, and I've had that truck running and driving 3 years. I haven't had any issues with it. So, oh shit, took out my mailbox. But yeah. And I know Chevy ones will work. You can put the Cummins bell housing and input shaft on a Chevy one, but you gotta keep an eye on what year it is. And I don't remember. Shit, this goes in the other shit. But I don't remember what years. Because I know the early ones, earlier Chevys, the NV4500s had a different gearing in them. So that's something you kind of gotta watch out for. But other than that, yeah, you should be good. But yeah. So. But yeah, you can also just switch a Chevy one out to a Dodge one. But which, if you're gonna switch over to a Ford, you're gonna come and swap a Ford. Let's say you wanna come and swap a OBS like mine, but you want the ZF5 or the ZF6 in it. You can do it, but it's more expensive. Just from the standpoint, then you have to buy a flywheel and a clutch, and the adapter plate by itself is another $800. So, and then you gotta get a 6.0 starter. So, the truck I bought, just had it as a roller. It was 460 with a 5-speed in it. And the engine and transmission went to a friend of mine that put it in his Bronco. So I was going to do something with it. I don't remember exactly what he ended up doing with it, but yeah. So it was just a roller. And I just felt that if I'm going to do the swap, it just made more sense to put it just just use the Dodge transmission, because then it was just going to be easier to sort of deal with the swap and everything else. And then when you go to get parts like clutch and different things like that, it just makes it easier to get parts instead of having to dick around with that stuff. So, but yeah. Actually, I think what I'm going to go ahead and do... we'll worry about it later. I might actually use this for another chopping wagon as well. Pulling that, so... But we'll see how things go. But anyways, so yeah, that's... With that, if you guys are ever contemplating on doing that, that's just another way of going about it. So you don't have to worry about fucking around trying to get worry about buying all the adapters and everything else, because all I had to do then was get a custom drive shaft made and all that kind of crap, which down by where I live, driveline in Dubuque, that's who I had to take care of that. It was fairly pricey. I mean, it was $450, but I just went ahead and had them redo the all the U-joints in it too, which so that's part of the expense. But I used the Dodge shafts, so they had to lengthen the front one quite a ways, and they had to shorten the back one. So yeah, here we go. Got the old 235 out. It's my baling tractor. It's also what I use to spread fertilizer with, but I really don't have to spread fertilizer anymore because the air seeder takes care of that. So we're just gonna go ahead and get trucking down the road here with this, and yeah. So but yeah, you heard me talking about these tractors earlier. The guy who made them did just an awesome job on them. Just awesome job. So and get this unfolded out. We can probably shut off my beacons and whatnot. There we go. Usually takes a little bit of the first row just to get the baler filled back up, and then shits out bales all the time. But I've already made like 1,200 bales with this stupid thing, so. But the tractor only has 1.4 hours on it because I used to have a 4960 deer on this thing, and to tell you the truth, that 4960 mod is not that great. It sits there, and when it's parked, it will sit there and bounce and slide all over your fucking sheds, and I just got fucking tired of dealing with that. Because every time I'd go to use that tractor after I'd play it for a while, so I'd be out combine or whatever, go back to go do some baling, and fucking tractor is, fucking 90 degrees into the fucking wall, and the baler is tied up against the other wall. So it's, yeah, I just got so sick of that shit, and so I just went ahead and got a 235 to replace it. So, which I'm gonna go ahead and save this actually, but which a 4960 is originally 200 horse, so this thing is, well, 235 since it's 235 Magnum, so pretty comparable. But as far as real life goes, one of these would literally blow that fucking 4960 out of the water. And because I know I'm gonna go ahead and forget to grab that bale, we're just gonna go ahead and push this back on the field. Sometimes I forget it, especially from loading bales at night. But yeah, but so far, yeah, I really dig this 235. It's pretty badass. So it's just an all-around fucking awesome tractor in real life and on the game, because the guy who made this did one hell of a job on it. So I might not get all this done in this video, but I'll get pretty close. I'll get as close as I can without trying to make a 40-minute video. But we still got a couple minutes yet, so I might. That's why I kind of wanted to start baling this video, because chopping takes a little bit more time than baling, because obviously you gotta chop it, but then you've got to supply it, you know, your chopper with switch out wagons and everything else. So that's kind of why I wanted to go ahead and get this baled. And then there might actually be another bale hauling video. I don't know if you guys really like hauling bales, but, or like watching bale hauling videos, but me personally, it's one of my favorite things to do is hauling bales on this game. So it's probably why my baler has over 1,200 bales pushed out. So, and we've already made 33, so we've got a load right now so far. So that big ass bale trailer will hold 33 bales. So yeah, so next video I'm trying to decide what I want to do, but it'll be chopping. That's pretty much guaranteed. The next video that I will be doing some chopping, but if I run out of time on this video, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep baling, or if I just kind of want to finish my baling and all that stuff, and then just go straight to chopping in the next video. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Remember me talking about a couple videos back that bales would just wig out and do crazy shit? Yeah, that's an example of what I'm talking about. Now you know I'm not just crazy. And I missed a bunch. Shit. Oh well. Fuck it. Yeah. It will just all of a sudden randomly just fucking make a bale do that. Just, it'll fly out and flip around and all that other stupid shit. And I'm just, it's like, holy crap. And I don't know why it does that. And it's done that no matter what tractor I put on there. But it seems like when I had the 4960, it did it worse. So I don't know. Maybe this New Holland baler just didn't like being hooked up to a deer. I don't know. Now, I grew up John Deere, like hardcore John Deere. That was it. It was nothing other than that. So, but I'm gonna be honest. After the 55 series deer, they're kind of a pile of shit. That's from my experience. I don't like them. You know, I don't know. After the 55 series, I just don't like them. The 60 series wasn't so bad, but pretty much after the 55 series, I'll go Magnum every fucking time. Or Steiger, you know, whatever, depending on what we're talking about. If we're talking about big articulates, but yeah. It's just magnums, since the time they've come out, they've never really had many issues. And they're also made right here in Racine, right here in Wisconsin where I live, so that's another thing. But yeah, they're incredibly easy to operate. There's not a whole lot of issues with them. And you know, they're a really solid, decent tractor. You know, even going back to the old square body magnums, like your 71, 72, and 89 series. That yeah, see, there goes another bale. It was all fucked up. But even going back to those tractors, you know, with the 8.3 Cummins and the, you know, the 15-speed power, 16-speed power shifts, I think they were. It's been a while since I ran one, but I used to run one every day when I was hauling shit for a living. But yeah, just absolutely indestructible tractor. I mean, really, in all honesty, they really were. And then went to the MX series, which I started putting the plastic hoods on it, but you know, the transmission and the engine were basically the same, and they didn't have any issues. And then when they started going to the Iveco engines, they still really haven't had any issues with them. They've been a pretty good tractor. And I used to work at a Case IH dealership, and it's one of those deals where, you know, tractors that will come in for warranty work and everything else like that. But and obviously there's things that happen, but it's not like there was never. I mean, there was a Magnum in there getting worked on about every day, but it's, you know, had so many customers that it's not like one customer, his tractor was in there like every 3 days or something like that, you know, or once a month. I mean, they're just a good solid tractor. And it's, I did Michael J. Fox make this baler? Is that why it's kind of wigging out and everything's shaking and flopping around? I don't know. Oh, too soon? Too soon? Oh, sorry. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and try to get this wrapped up. So still got a few more minutes, I guess. But it might be closer to a 40-minute video, but I might as well just go ahead and finish this damn field, because it's my last row and I'm just about done. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish it. But yeah. Said it's got Conley Farms on it, so that's really all I've done to these tractors, because everything else to me looked perfect, so I didn't mess with it. Oh, missing a little spot. Fuck it. Oh well. But yeah. So can't see the laptop very well, but yeah, I put a laptop in it and I put Conley Farms on it. That's all I did. So yeah, we'll go ahead and finish this field, and then in the next video we'll just get straight into chopping. So I guess, yeah, that's about the end of the video. So appreciate you watching the video and listening to my ramblings. And yeah, so I guess if you like the video, you can go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video, doing some chopping, and then probably have another video about hauling bales, but I'll show you guys more of how I actually get the trailer loaded up and everything. So, but yeah, she is quite the beast, and so yeah, I'm really happy with this tractor. But anyways, yeah, I guess we'll catch you in the next video. So till then, this is GrainBin, and I'll catch you later. Bye.